Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad. This is my channel Animate Orange, and this week in 3D Metal Model News. Fascinations and Peace Cool, nothing new on their pages this week, so things are still fairly quiet there. Looking around, honestly, there's not a whole lot new this week either. I didn't see any new models. The only new thing I saw was very limited information. MU's website has sort of done an update. I've talked in a couple of videos somewhat recently about how MU's website has kind of fallen back behind, where they aren't really updating their page anymore. There was a while there where they were putting new models on their page before they came out, and then they stopped. I checked just a short while ago, well, this morning, and there were some new things showing up. A couple of them I'd already talked about. They're already out. I've already mentioned them in videos. One of them is new. I don't know, haven't seen it anywhere before, but even in the two that are already out, if you click on it for more information, you really don't get much, if anything. It's like the information hasn't completely loaded. I did poke around a little bit more. I had the idea to actually try and highlight the page because it looks like something may have been hidden. But on the new thing, the item that I hadn't seen before, in the picture it just says K-U-N-I-U-N, so Kunion. I did a Google search for that word and didn't come up with anything conclusive to tell me what that's about, but it's just another structure. If you go click on it to get more information, the page seems to load blank, but if you Control-Alt to highlight the page, it does show some text, so apparently the text is in white just like the background, so you can't see it. Though the text is minimally revealing. There are no more pictures or no more details about the model, no descriptive text about what this structure is. All we've got is stainless and brass, 5 sheets, model number of YM-N107, which I searched for that on AliExpress and didn't come up with anything. 187 parts, and the finished size of 205 by 155 by 340 millimeters, and that's including brackets. So I think it hangs or something, or some sort of bracket. So it includes all that, and a 6-star difficulty. That's the only information I could pull from that, and got the picture, the one and only picture of it right here. So this is something that'll probably show up fairly soon. I don't know anything about it. If you do, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. The other models that's shown up I had already talked about in previous videos, so there's nothing really new there. Now, a couple of things I almost missed, but thanks to a YouTuber's comment on one of my comments, I did go back and double check. It's a store that I don't usually pay a lot of attention to, but maybe I should pay more. Iron Star Store had a few new models, one of which was a Picture Kingdom Angel Castle. And not a lot of information was available on that. I did try to translate a little bit of the Chinese, but it just seemed to be fluff about the model, but I didn't see any details on it. I was like, you know, what is this regards to other than just something imaginary? But it is a very pastel sort of castle, maybe castle in the sky. Finished product size, from what I can gather, was 100 by 100 by 168. Didn't say, but I think millimeters. But it didn't actually say millimeters, centimeters, or what. It did say that there were 6 125 by 190 millimeter sheets, 5 out of 7-star difficulty, and the price for it is about $30.60 US dollars. Neat looking pastel castle. If you know any details about it, what it's supposed to represent, leave in the comments down below. The other thing is a couple of Iron Star models. They are metal puzzle racing cars. There's a red one and a blue one, and at first I thought they were just the same car, but there is some differences in them, size being one of them. Also kind of a little tough to get the details, and I'm not sure I'm right here. But the red one, I believe I got a translation of GTR God of War, so if it's related to God of War, I've heard that name, but I don't really know what it is, a game perhaps. GTR God of War, 8 out of 10 difficulty, and I believe the finished size is 17 by 7.5 by 6.5 centimeters, but I'm not certain. And then there's the blue version, which is a finished size of 9.8 by 4 by 3 centimeters, if I've got that right. 8 out of 10 difficulty, and I think this one is a 143 scale, and the red one, I almost missed this, is 128 scale, so the red one appears to be a larger size. And it also looks like, and I didn't notice this until I was getting the prices, it looks like the red one might come with LED lights that you put in the headlights. Oh, it looks like it does come with LED lights that I think you put in the headlights. And the red one is $33.46 US and 1/28 scale, and the blue one is $16.73, so cheaper and a smaller scale, it appears. So don't know a lot of details about that other than what I've just got. Both of those pages were a lot of Chinese, so there's some translated involved. It did show a sample of the model car, which I'm guessing is a real car, but I couldn't quite tell what that is. What brand, I'm guessing some sort of Japanese brands, Mitsubishi or Subaru, or I really don't know. But I couldn't see the picture to see the emblem to tell what kind of car it is. Again, if you know, please leave it in the comments and down below. Those are a few models I almost missed that are on the Iron Store. Of course, links in the description down below. The other things that I do want to talk about, since we are here, is going back to last week's video. I had talked about a couple of Picture Kingdom models and how there was a larger picture with two more models that I didn't know anything about. And both Mary Pate and Cernicus, I know I was told how to say that properly once, but I can't remember. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Memory is short. Both of them pointed out they have seen the other two models in the Picture Kingdom lineup, and that prompted me to go back and double check. And I did some searching. I did some searching in my own files. I'm able to go back and search keywords in some of my documents up to a certain point. And I did find where I had talked about them before. I believe it was the January 16th 3D Metal Model News, January of this year. And I had mentioned the Childhood Fun Shop, and I think I nicknamed it the Arcade Shop, and the Childhood Fun Store, the Ice Cream Shop. And when I took a closer look, it hit me. Yes, I have talked about those, because I do now remember looking closer at the Arcade Shop, that big controller up front. I'm like, yeah, I do remember talking about that, but I don't remember what. So I did talk about that, so thank you, both of you, for pointing that out and, you know, encouraging me to look back into it. I will put a link to the other two. I believe they were on, let me see here, Funny Model Stores, and I still have the links for those, so I'll put those links down below. So they're out there. You could probably search by those names or by model numbers to find them in other stores. And at the time, I think when those two models showed up, there was no indication there were going to be more, and I just kind of didn't associate the two until people commented that, hey, you know, those were out since January for a while, so they've added to that. So to clear that up, these are the latest two in the 4, and I guess when the previous two came out, was no indication there were going to be more, and now we have more. So there that is. And one thing that Cernicus, I forgot how to say it, pointed out, which I think is hilarious, and I didn't notice, I should have noticed. If you look at all the videos of, or all the pictures of the 360 view, not 360, but they have different pictures of different sizes in the listing. On the back side of the video store in the reel is actually frames of the Silly Walk from Monty Python, which is hilarious. I didn't catch that, and thanks for pointing that out. I was a big Monty Python's Flying Circus fan back years ago. Watched a lot of it, and I do remember the Silly Walk, and it's hilarious that they put that on there. So thanks for pointing that out as well. That pretty much all we have to talk about as far as new models. It's only the one, and it's not even really out yet. Kind of a touch back on last week to clarify that those other two models were actually out and have been out for a little bit of time. I do have one comment that I want to talk about this week to kind of share with everybody else. Let me go ahead and read. This is from Mick Walsh. Hi Brad, thanks as always for your updates. A quick question comment for you and any viewers that may know regarding the LED kits that come with the MU mini stores like Ramen House, Video Arcade, etc. I install these kits by basically stuffing them into the bottom of the model and closing it up, then deactivating the lights by simply tapping the model on the table. Simple but effective. But am I doing this right? Am I missing something? There are no instructions with the LED kits themselves or in the assembly instructions for the model, but the method works. I'm just interested to know how others approach this. Thanks again and keep up the good work, Mick. So, being somebody who's never actually built one of the LED models, I put that question to my viewers. How do you do it? Is this sound right? Do you just stuff the model in there or stuff the kit in there and close it up? Is there a procedure to it? How do you do it? I'd love some feedback. I'm sure Mick would love some feedback. I have never built a model with an LED light. I would love to. There are many things I would love to do. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm always talking about things I'd love to do, but it's just a lack of time. One of these days I'd love to get an LED kit and experience it for myself. I just haven't. I just haven't. No particular reason. I've got several models that I'd like to build already, and I just haven't had the time. Haven't put aside the time. There's so many things I want to do. I'm working full time. I have other hobbies. I tinker with my own vehicles. I just unfortunately don't have the time. But anyway, I'd love to hear, comment down below what LED kits you have done, how you did them. Did you just stuff them in? Did you tape them down? Did you drill holes? Did you have some sort of instructions how to put it in? You know, did your kit come with instructions? Did you make up your own? Please leave your comments down below for both myself and for Mick so that we can have an idea of how you do it. Both of us, I'm sure, would love some feedback. I'm going to leave it at that for this week. Another short video because there's not a whole lot to talk about, but who knows, maybe next week we'll have more. Do always want to thank my Patreon supporters for continuing to support this channel. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you everyone who comments on my videos. Even though I don't always respond, I do always read them. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep on keeping on.